Chapter 1. The Legend of the Silver Forest. In a small village, nestled between rolling hills and dense woodlands, there was a legend passed down through generations. The villagers spoke of a mystical place deep within the heart of the forest, where the trees shimmered like silver under the moonlight. This enchanted place was known as the Silver Forest. It was said that those who ventured into the Silver Forest might find great treasures, but only if they were pure of heart. However, if their intentions were selfish or greedy, the forest would ensnare them forever in its silver branches. Few dared to enter, and those who did were often never seen again. One such villager, a young woman named Alara, grew up listening to the tales of the Silver Forest. Her grandmother had often warned her about the dangers of the forest, but Alara was curious and adventurous. She had always been drawn to the idea of exploring the unknown, and the mystery of the Silver Forest fascinated her. Chapter 2. The Decision. One cold autumn evening, as the village prepared for the long winter ahead, Alara overheard a conversation between her father and the village elder. The elder spoke of a strange illness spreading through the village, one that no one could cure. Crops were failing, and the livestock were growing weak. The villagers feared that the coming winter would be harsh and unforgiving. There's only one hope left for us. The Silver Forest is said to hold a magical flower, the moon blossom, that can cure any ailment and restore life to the land. Alara's father shook his head. Father, but no one who has entered the Silver Forest has ever returned. It's too dangerous. Perhaps, but if we do nothing, we may not survive the winter. Alara, hearing this, knew what she had to do. That night, as the moon rose high in the sky, she packed her bag with provisions and set out for the Silver Forest. Chapter 3. The Journey Begins. Alara's journey to the Silver Forest was long and arduous. She traveled for days, following the river that flowed from the heart of the forest, her only guide in the dense wilderness. The further she went, the quieter the world became, until the only sounds were her own footsteps and the rustling of leaves in the wind. As she approached the edge of the Silver Forest, she felt a strange sensation, as if the air itself was charged with magic. Trees glowed faintly, their bark shimmering like silver in the dim light. Alara took a deep breath and stepped into the forest, the leaves crunching softly beneath her feet. Chapter 4. First Trial. As Alara ventured deeper into the forest, she soon realized that the tales of its enchantment were true. The trees seemed to shift and change, their branches weaving together to form new paths and blocking others. It was as if the forest was alive, testing her resolve. Alara, I must keep going. The village is depending on me. Her first trial came in the form of a river that appeared out of nowhere, cutting off her path. The water was dark and fast-flowing, and there was no bridge in sight. As Alara searched for a way across, she noticed a group of silver fish swimming against the current. Remembering a tale her grandmother had told her, she realized that the fish were a guide. Alara, fish are leading me. I need to trust them. Alara followed the fish upstream, where she found a series of stepping stones hidden just beneath the water's surface. With careful steps, she crossed the river, her heart pounding in her chest. On the other side, she found a small clearing with a stone bench. Exhausted, she sat down to rest. Chapter 5. The Guardian of the Forest. As Alara rested, she noticed a figure watching her from the shadows. It was a fox, its fur gleaming silver in the moonlight. Fox approached her cautiously, its eyes intelligent and knowing. Fox, you are brave to venture into the Silver Forest, young one. But bravery alone will not see you through. I seek the moon blossom to save my village. Will you help me? Fox studied her for a moment before nodding. Fox, the path ahead is fraught with danger, but I will guide you. Stay close, and remember, forest tests all who enter. The fox led Alara deeper into the forest, where the trees grew denser and the air grew colder. As they walked, the fox explained the challenges she would face. Illusions meant to deceive, creatures that guarded the forest's secrets, and the forest itself, which could change at will. Chapter 6. The Illusion. As they traveled, the forest began to play tricks on Alara's mind. She saw her village, her family, and friends calling out to her, begging her to return. The images were so real that Alara nearly turned back, but the fox reminded her of her mission. Fox, these are only illusions meant to distract you. Focus on your goal, and they will fade. Alara closed her eyes and took a deep breath. When she opened them, the illusions were gone, replaced by the dense, silver trees once more. She continued on, more determined than ever. Chapter 7. The Guardian's Test. After hours of walking, they reached a clearing where a massive oak tree stood. Bark was silver, and its branches stretched high into the sky. At its base was a flower glowing with a soft, pale light, the moon blossom. But the flower was not unguarded. A creature with the body of a lion and the wings of an eagle lay curled around it, sleeping. Fox, this is the guardian of the moon blossom. To take the flower, you must prove your worth. Alara approached the guardian cautiously. As she drew near, the creature opened its eyes and stood, towering over her. Guardian, who dares to seek the moon blossom? I am Alara, from the village beyond the forest. My people are suffering, and I seek the flower to heal them. Many have come before you, driven by greed. Why should I trust you? I do not seek the flower for myself, but to save others. My heart is pure and my intentions are true. The guardian gazed at Alara for a long moment before nodding. Guardian, you speak the truth. You may take the moon blossom, but be warned, its magic comes at a cost. Alara nodded, understanding that she must be careful with the powerful magic she was about to wield. Chapter 8. Return. With the moon blossom in hand, Alara and the fox began their journey back through the forest. The way was no easier than before, but Alara felt a sense of peace, knowing she had completed her mission. As they reached the edge of the forest, the fox stopped and turned to her. Fox, you have proven yourself worthy, Alara. Forest will remember you. Go now and save your village. Thank you, my friend. I will never forget this place. Fox disappeared into the trees, and Alara stepped out of the forest, the moon blossom glowing softly in her hand. Chapter 9. Cure. When Alara returned to her village, she was greeted with gasps of surprise and relief. Her family and friends gathered around as she held up the moon blossom. Elder, you have done the impossible, Alara. You have brought hope back to us all. Alara carefully prepared the moon blossom as her grandmother had once taught her, brewing it into a potion. She administered the potion to the sick, and within hours, they began to recover. The crops and livestock also began to thrive once more, as the magic of the moon blossom spread throughout the village. Chapter 10. The Legacy of the Silver Forest. The village celebrated Alara's bravery and the miraculous cure. She became known as the hero of the Silver Forest, and her story was told for generations. But Alara never forgot the lessons she learned in the forest. She understood the importance of courage, selflessness, and the power of nature's magic. She continued to protect the forest, ensuring that it remained a place of mystery and wonder, known only to those who truly needed it. And so, the legend of the Silver Forest lived on, a reminder of the magic that exists in the world, for those brave enough to seek it with a pure heart. The end.